Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon for our webinar presented by our vendor member, FloodBuzz. We are excited to have Eric join us. He has been a member from the very beginning. One of our loyal members was a regular member and then joined as a vendor member, and of course came to ASTI and had a booth and met many of you there. So I'm going to turn it over to Eric to talk to you about FloodBuzz.
Thanks, Wendy. Hey, everyone. My name is Eric Goodman. I'm one of the co-owners of FloodBuzz Water Leak Alarms. I think a bunch of you probably know who we are because we have a bunch of UASA customers. But if not, or if you just want a refresher, here today to talk about our products and why they're great for servicers and how you can order some. So just starting off a little bit about myself, my name, like I mentioned, Eric Goodman, co-owner and head of sales. My wife on the right is also a co-owner of the business, is in charge of marketing. And then we have a third partner as well. We're based in Seattle. So if any of you are in the Pacific Northwest, give us a shout. And my contact information is here, and we'll send out this deck afterward with the recording, so you'll have my info there. So I always like to start these webinars with a quote. This one is from Benjamin Franklin. So the only guarantees in life are death, taxes, and water leaks. I'm almost positive he said this back in the 1700s because he's a smart guy, and water leaks are bad, as we all know. But in all seriousness, like water leaks can get gnarly and cost a lot of money for everyone involved, right? So some statistics that we've put together here, and I'm sorry in advance that some of these photos are probably going to invoke some bad memories for folks on this call, but 8% of homes experience a plumbing or appliance leak each year. That's 1 in 12 homes. So go up and down a block, any given block, one of those homes in a given year is going to have an issue. A leak from a washing machine hose can release hundreds of gallons of water in less than an hour. I've dealt with this in my own home. It was not fun. Fortunately, there was a drain next to my washing machine, but still didn't make it that much better. And there's 14,000. This statistic actually was crazy, but we've seen it in a few places now. There's 14,000 water damage claims per day in the US. That's nearly 1 in every 60 insured homes per year. So, this happens, right? It's sort of facts of life as we go back to the original quote. And just, I think this is the last one here. Water damage claims represent over 25% of home insurance claims, and just 1 inch of water can cause up to $25,000 of damage in a typical home. I'm sure folks on this call have dealt with issues where leaks have occurred on maybe the second floor or the third floor, and then they just cascade down, right? Especially in apartments, that can be really bad. So I don't have to say any more here. I think all these images and quotes kind of speak for themselves. So we invented FloodBuzz. We've been a family-run business in business since 2010, and we make multi-purpose, we call them stupidly simple, cost-effective water leak alarms designed to sound at the first sign of a leak. And we have 4 distinct models to protect every leak-prone area in a home or business. I'll talk through the different models. What I will say is that we found for appliance servicers, the most popular model is the FloodBuzz Small, which is the one on the right. If you were at ASTI, we gave out samples of this. This is our most cost-effective product, and it's not our loudest product, but still pretty loud, and can fit into tight spaces. So that's why that product has been sort of the favorite of those in the appliance space. Just talking about the 4 different models, I like to show this graphic to show that you could put a FloodBuzz in every single room in the house. So if you're on a job and there's a lot of leak-prone areas, you could actually upsell your customer, six or a dozen FloodBuzz alarms, and you can kind of put them in different places in the house. And I have a video here. I think the audio will play, but let me know if it's not coming through. Either way, I have the link in the video here. All right. Next slide. Okay. So All of our FloodBuzz models work the same basic way. There's an instant loud alarm when water touches the two prongs on the bottom of the device. So water starts leaking, kind of seeps underneath. I'm just going to wet my thumb. You'll be able to hear it. This is the FloodBuzz Small I was talking about earlier. That sounds up to 95 decibels. We also have a Pro model. It's a couple dollars per unit more expensive, but that's even louder. That's up to 110 decibels. The sound may not come as clear through the video, but you know, still very loud. 95 decibels is quite loud. Small and sleek design. Our founder has an industrial design background, and the idea was to not make these super clunky or cumbersome. So pretty sleek, kind of blends in with the surroundings. The next bullet is a big one. No setup or maintenance required. So this is something where, because all of our FloodBuzz units have a pre-installed battery, there's no setup required. So you simply just open the packaging and place the unit down. There's no Wi-Fi, no wires, no fuss. It is just as simple as placing the unit down and waiting for a leak to happen. All of our products are reusable. I say here up to 2 years. Really, it's closer to 3. We have a replace by date stamped on every unit that lets you know when to replace it. It's not a hard date. Like this one, for example, says March 2029. It's not that the unit will stop working on that date. It's just a recommended date to keep the battery fresh. Cost effective. So FloodBuzz Small, our wholesale price, which starts at 144 units, the cost per unit is under $5. For the FloodBuzz Pro, the cost is under $8. So spend less than a cup of coffee. Well, I don't know where you all are, but in Seattle, coffee is getting expensive. So less than a cup of coffee, and potentially catch a leak before it becomes a $5,000 to $10,000 issue. And just again, we call them stupidly simple because they are, and that was a big part of why we started this business, was to build a product that really requires no technical know-how, no installation. It's just a simple, easy to use product for everyone. FloodBuzz Small, I've mentioned this a few times now. This is the product of choice for folks in the appliance space. It's our shortest product. It's only 1.5 inches tall. So it's really good for going under small spaces. If you're in a basement or an area that's maybe away from folks, you'll still be able to hear it in the rest of the house, most likely. But if not, or if the customer's hard to hear, you can actually just put 2 next to each other, and that amplifies the sound. FloodBuzz Pro is very similar to the Small. 2 key differences. One is a little louder, and the other is that we have a sticker indent on here. So you could actually put a sticker with your name and logo on it. So this is the Mr. Appliance sticker on this one for one of our Mr. Appliance customers. I don't know how many folks on this call or in UASA are doing water heater work, but if you are, we do sell a product called the FloodBuzz Blue. It's designed to fit into water heater pans, and you can kind of wedge it between the pan and the water heater itself. And then our last model, we have a model called the FloodBuzz Pro for HVAC. So if any of you deal with HVAC units, reach out to us and we can talk more about that one. So how are servicers using these in their business, right? So the easiest way to do this is just simply leave it behind after a job. Just drop one behind. Let your customer know you're putting it there. Give them peace of mind that, hey, if an issue happens again, especially if it's a leak related issue that you're there for in the first place, you'll be covered hopefully by our FloodBuzz units. So you can just leave it behind. You could also upsell it. We've seen that too. A couple different ways there. Some people add $5 to $10 onto their service charge. Some people do it as an optional upsell. It just depends. We've seen both of those work. The next few bullets, I'm not gonna go over bullet by bullet because we talked about these before. But just the last one, stock friendly and affordable, because these units are so small, you can keep them in the truck. Doesn't take up a lot of space. So nice thing to have, and just train your techs on, hey, leave these behind, or you can upsell them, whatever it may be. Just putting this here, like a couple of ideas for appliance pros as far as like where we've seen them used. Main appliances that we've seen FloodBuzz used on: fridges, dishwashers, washing machines, and water heaters. Whether it's like you're worried about a water line leak or a drain pan or tubing or inlet hoses, You can place these sort of behind the unit, under the unit, depending on the clearance, under a kick plate, under sinks, um, anywhere that's sort of a low point. If it's like a slope basement, for example, water's obviously going to flow downhill. So putting it anywhere where you think there could be a leak. The nice thing is because the FloodBuzz units are so inexpensive, you could even leak two if there's multiple areas you're concerned about. So testimonial here. This is from Jordan, who's one of our customers. He leads installs for Agron Appliance in Maine. And I'll just read off his quote. So our company places a leak detector at every single water connection we make. The ease of use and peace of mind brought by the detectors have been a huge hit with both customers and technicians. The ability to head off a leak before it can do real damage has become invaluable, and we wish we'd started using these sooner. Absolutely fantastic product, and we plan to use this for a long time. One of the things we've heard from customers similar to Jordan is also that FloodBuzz units essentially pay for themselves at $5 a unit for the small, for example. Even if 1 in every 200 homes has a leak and you catch that early, it's going to pay for itself. And so I wouldn't think of this as an expense. I think of it more as like almost like a form of insurance, like a really cost-effective way to protect your bottom line and protect your business and reputation as well. Just a couple of things, like there's other leak detectors out there. So just a bit more about us. US-based family-run business, patented product with it's now 16 plus year track record, hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers, including tons of UASA members, and we love working with professionals, trades folks, and we do a lot of wholesale pricing discounts, so something to keep in mind. I'm putting pricing here. So we sell in case quantities. You can order less than a case quantity, if that's something you're interested in, but you get the best price breaks when you're ordering a full case. So FloodBuzz Pro and FloodBuzz Blue, a case is 48 units per case, and the FloodBuzz Small is 144 units per case. So you can see what I was talking about here earlier, $4.85 per unit at that quantity. And I know it says brand source at the top, but we have a couple of great discounts for UASA members. So $100 off your first order of a full case or more. So remember, $6.99 goes down to $5.99. We also are going to take an additional $20 off all cases ordered by the end of the year. So now you're down to $5.79. And then shipping is on us for your first case. So shipping is usually $15, but we'll cover that on your first case. And that's pretty much all I have on my end. Oh, sorry, I just saw your note, Alexandra, about the video. So we'll send this out later, and you'll be able to watch it. But yeah, Wendy or anyone else who has questions, that's pretty much what I had to go through today.
I think that's great. It really seems very reasonable. Has anyone on the call been using this or tried this on any of their repairs? You should be able to take yourself off mute. Alexandra's asking, what's the best way to order, Eric?
The best way to order, I think, just to make sure that we apply the discount properly, is just to email me directly. So eric@floodbuzz.com, which I'll put in there. Just email me directly with what products you're interested in and what kinds of quantities you're interested in, and I can send you back a quote. I would also say because I don't know if folks on this call were at ASTI, but if you want a couple of units to try out or just to see what it's actually like in person before you order a case of them, happy to send out some sample units as well for the folks on the call. So you can also just email me and let me know you're interested, and we'll get you set up.
Who else do we have on? Hendra, have you used the unit? Did you see it at ASTI when you were there? Maybe not.
Possible.
Everybody's shy.
Okay. Yeah. I think, Wendy, I don't know if you've gotten feedback from ASTI members on FloodBuzz. What we've heard is I'll go back to the title of the webinar. Sorry, I think I went too far. Oh no, I didn't go far enough. Like this really is, in its simplest form, a $5 way for service techs to prevent water leak claims or help catch them early, right? What we've heard is that if your techs are actually using them and really being consistent with that, it will pay for itself. And this has helped save members tons of money. Not just appliance techs, but appliance installers, plumbers, facilities managers, property managers, because the damage, if not caught early, and a lot of these leaks are silent, so you don't hear them necessarily, can be really catastrophic. You have to replace floors. Mold is a big problem. So, as much as you can try to avoid these kinds of things happening for your business, you should.
So, so what is the message you give to homeowners when you leave it? Is when you hear this, turn your water off and call us, or what do
Yeah.
you, what does that communication
Yes.
look like that you should be, how should they be training their techs of how to communicate this when they leave it at a home?
Yeah, exactly. I think the first thing is just showing your customer that you're putting it down, and that if you hear the specific sound, because you can set this off by just putting it in a puddle of water, know that that's what it is and know to look for it and let them know where you're leaving it. And then follow up, say, hey, if this happens and it's really gushing water, turn off the water and show them how to do that. Otherwise, if it's just a drip leak, have them call have them call you, right? Have them call you back. Get you back in there to fix the issue. It just depends on the leak as far as if it's an emergency or not. But try to be communicative with your customer about sort of what it is and what you should do if that's happening.
And then do you see some of your servicers or installers, like you said, that some of them upsell it? So they say, hey, I'm going to leave this for you because I repaired your washing machine today, but if you want more, they're X amount. And do they then do you have some that do that and then sell them in like additional units if they wanted to put them by all their toilets or something?
Yeah, absolutely. We have one ASCII customer who I think they leave one unit behind with every install. And then what happens, or with every repair, I think they're an installer and repairer, so they were doing both, but they were leaving one behind. And then customers would say, hey, I need like 6 more of these. And you just pull them out from the truck and sell them, for $10 a unit or whatever you want to sell them for. So that's what we've heard from a lot of members.
Yeah. So something easy to make them feel better and probably call you back before they call someone else back.
Correct. Yeah. And that's the nice thing, is this is both an upsell and a form of insurance. So it kind of kills a few birds with one stone.
Sounds good. Does anyone have any other questions? It looks like Alexandra has already emailed you and he's going to be getting some. So that's wonderful. Anyone else have questions or experience that they want to share with flooding or insurance claims that they've had to work through? No, everybody's quiet today. Okay, well,
that happens.
No, but hopefully this is good information. And if you weren't able, if you're watching this recorded, again, Eric at Flood Buzz, he did share his email. It is in the chat as well. I will read it out loud again. Eric at floodbuzz.com. So there's double O and double Z in there, and Eric with a C. So Eric at floodbuzz.com. You can email him directly to place your order and make sure you get that UASA member discount. And I think that hopefully you get some interest from this, but like I said, we're going to repost this in our online community so people can watch it if they weren't able to join us today, and especially remind the people who did sign up and maybe had something happen and they couldn't jump on. But Eric, we appreciate you being a member of UASA, supporting us as a vendor and as an ASTI sponsor. And we appreciate all of our members for joining us today. So thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate the time. Thank you, Wendy.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.